Today's lesson is all about the sum of an arithmetic series. Do you notice the change of the word? It's not a sequence anymore, it's now a series. Now what's the difference? If you have semicolons between your terms, you call it a sequence. If you have pluses between your terms, you call it a series. Now, to calculate the sum of a series, of the arithmetic series, we have two formulas. A short one, where you only use the first term, and if the series shows a last term, you add them, multiply it with half of n terms. Then you get the sum. But sometimes they don't give you the last term, like this one. Then you use the longer formula. And this formula is the only formula of the arithmetic series that appears on the formula sheet at the end of the year. Not now. For now, you have to know your formulas.
Also in June.
Not in June. Okay. This one, you must know the proof. It's a very, very simple proof. You'll see. Very easy to understand. But to understand the proof, I want to quickly go through something with you. This is not in your notes. And this will enable you to understand the proof. If I give you a series like this, and you've identified that it's an arithmetic series, because there's a constant difference, you can say that the first term is called A. The next term is A plus D. Do you agree? Yes. And the third term will also be A plus D plus D. So it will be A plus 2D. Are you with me so far? Mm-hmm. Now let's substitute A with 2. So now you get the first term is 2. The next term is the first term plus D. 2 plus D. The third term is also 2A, but plus 2 times D. Are you with me? Okay. This thinking process is what we're going to use in proving our sum formula. The proof of the SN formula for an arithmetic series. You start with the first term A. Then I add D to get the second term. Then I add 2D to get the third term. Are you with me so far? And let's say we have the last term. To get the previous term, you subtract D. And to get the one before that one, you subtract 2D. Are you with me so far? Okay. Now in the second step of the proof,
When is that? Is that you have the last one, you're going backwards?
We're going backwards. Yeah. Last one, so we minus the difference, and then we minus 2 times the difference. Okay. Now in the second step of the SN proof, we are going to write this SN again, but from the back to the front. So we start at the last term, then the second last, then the third last, etc. And then we get to the third term, second term, first term. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. Always number them, because now I'm going to say, I'm going to add number 1 and number 2. And then if you add them, A plus L will form A plus L. The next one, A plus D plus L minus D means that the D's cancel out, so I'm also left with A plus L. third term. The 2D's and the negative 2D's cancel out, and then I'm left with A plus L, etc. Now, how many A plus L's are there? The number of terms. And that is N. N. So there are N A plus L's. But I want the sum of the series alone. So I have to divide by 2. Now instead of writing a division line here to underneath all of them, you only divide the N because you're going to multiply that with A plus L. And there you have your first formula. Now, you're not supposed to know the proof of the first formula, so we have to carry on. We have to get to the second one. In previous lessons, what did I tell you? What is the name of the last term? Tn. Yes. And we know we are working with an arithmetic sequence or series. So Tn can be written as A plus N minus 1 times D. And then I have 2 A's in the bracket. Therefore, that is my final step for the proof. Easy. Okay? 2A. It's the first A, and then the T ends A.
And then there by the third step where you add 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You just put 2 SN and then you add it.
Yeah. Sn plus Sn is 2Sn.
And then must the amount of whatever bracket you have there also equal like
yeah. Yeah.
So maybe in our book is
yeah. In your notes, these two are left out.
But they also have another one. We only have 3 brackets. But we have
okay, these must correlate. You must have the same number of brackets in all the rows. Now let's do one example where you have to. Okay. One example. Look for this one. -2, -4, -6 goes on until -14. The first thing that you need to do is to identify which series or sequence we are working with. Now I always start with minusing or adding, and then I see, oh, there's a constant difference. Therefore, it's an arithmetic sequence. Why do you have to do that? Because we are going to teach you more formulas of each type of sequence and each type of series. So the first thing is always to identify which series or sequence are you working with so that you use the correct formulas. The question is, determine the sum of the first 3 terms. Alright, this is a simple example, meaning that you can just go and add the first 3 terms on your calculator. But I want you to go through the motions and do all the steps with the correct formulas. Are you awake? No, man. Okay, determine the sum means I want Sn. Of the first 3 terms, so n is 3. I know it's an arithmetic sequence, so the arithmetic sequence's sum formula is used. I want S is 3, but now I have a problem. Because, well, it's not this one. No problem here. I want the sum of 3 terms, so n is 3, a is -2, d is also -2. When you use a formula in maths, always write the clean formula, then you show your substitution, and then you show your answer. But remember, when you use n's value, you have to substitute it here as well. Don't forget this n. If you keep on writing Sn equals that, it's -1 for notation. Right.
What -1 notation?
Like -1 for notation if you kept on writing Sn, not S3. Now some of you are awake and are wondering, why did I not use the short formula? Because I know the first term and I know the last term. You can. N is still 3, the first term is still -2, the last term of the 3 is -6. Therefore, you can use the short formula and calculate, you'll get the same answer. Okay. So be awake. Let's look at another example. Now you have to go and search for this one. It's example 2's number 2. Example 2's number 2. This one. There is an errata. Our series must start with 8. So cross out the 3 plus. Okay, I give you a series. The first term is 8. It's a series because there are pluses. And I also give you the last term of the series. First, you have to identify the series. If I add 5 each time, I will get the following term. So I have a constant difference, and it's 5. Therefore, it's an arithmetic series. I give you the last term, so that means I give you Tn. And I know this is also L. They asked us, determine the sum of the series. You know it's arithmetic, so we're going to use, okay, you're a little bit fast asleep, so you're going to use the long formula. Now you go and you say, I want the sum of the series. I need n. You always write your variables on the right hand side. I need n. I need an a. And I need a d. I can fill in a and I can fill in the d, make that 8. But I don't know what n is. So I have to calculate n before I can calculate the sum. And where do I get n from? Tn. Oh, you get it from Tn because we know Tn has a value of 253. Then you use the arithmetic sequence formula. Substitute a and d and Tn, and then you get n's value as 50. Now I have n, and I can substitute all my values in the sum formula on the left-hand side as well, and to calculate that the sum is 6525. But some of you are awake, and you've noticed I've given you the first and the last term, so you can also use the short formula. Last one is 253, first one is 8, add them, substitute the 50 and get your answer. Let's look at the last example. Quickly search for this one. In this example, there are a lot of erratas. So you have to go step by step with me through the sum so that you can fix your notes. You add this series to get 1652. Oh, now waking up bit by bit. Now, first identify your series. It's an arithmetic series because I have a constant difference of 4. The question is, if I add them, how many terms are there? So, if I add them, I'm actually talking about Sn, and I have a value for the sum, and I need to calculate n. Okay. So we start with our formula. I don't have the last term, so I'm using the big long one. I have Sn, I want n, I have A, and I have D. Substitute your values, make sure that you have the correct values on your notes. Then I multiply it with this 2 on both sides to get rid of the fraction. Make sure that you have the correct value on your notes. Then I multiply the n into the bracket. Make sure that you have the correct values on your notes. I get a very big trinomial. Always look for the common factor, which is 2 in this case, and divide all the terms with 2. It's still a very big trinomial. You're going to take a long time to find the factors. So what is the short way to find a factor? The formula. The formula.
Remember, isn't our one fine up until you times
1652.
You times 2 earlier.
Divided by 2. Yes, I times with 2 there. Okay, so I used the formula. What did I do wrong here? I didn't write the formula. Okay, and be careful. This is not x equals, it's n equals. Okay? So first you have to write the formula. N equals minus b plus or minus, etc.
If I do do it like the formula, but then at the end I put therefore n equals.
Yep.
It
will be wrong. Minus 1 for notation because your notation is wrong. It must be an n.
No, what if I skip the formula completely and just put it in brackets? That's fine.
You just look at our one.
Let me just finish quickly. Then you get 2 values for n. A negative value and a positive value. The negative value means that you are standing in the negative position 59 halves. You can't get a negative position, so therefore it's not applicable. But you can stand 28 in a row.
Yeah. The month hour when they got rid of the denominator.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of errata, so you have to fix it.
Or never mind, they say.
Okay, we see.
We just times it.
Are there any questions?
Maybe I guess we never get
Your homework for Monday.
Yes, ma'am.
Exercise 4. page 13, numbers 1 and 2. And those of you who want to rewrite on Wednesday, you have to take an extended opportunity form, fill it in with your parents, and return it on Monday. The children that were sick, you have to write on Wednesday, and the children that got less than 30%, you also have to write on Wednesday.